The information presented in this podcast is provided for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any specific disease. It should not be taken as professional medical advice or used as a substitute for medical care. A physician or other healthcare professionals should be consulted before taking any medication, nutritional, or herbal supplement.
Mhm.
Well,
So
good evening. And we are so happy to have you, each one of you that are here with us tonight. My name is Stephanie, and it is my honor to welcome you tonight. Some of you are here for our kickoff, and we are so glad that you came back. Some of you are here for the first time. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. It is exciting. We're excited about the journey that we're going to all take together, and we're looking forward to all of the wonderful things that's going to happen for you. It's such a wonderful thing that you are investing in yourself, and we are going to have the best fun doing it. We don't want you to do that all by yourself, however, so we want you to invite some friends, some family, some coworkers, people that you know could really benefit from this program. So look in your contacts and think about those that you know could really have a lot of fun with us and enjoy the same journey that you're on. But before we get into this program, we have some housekeeping that we need to do. So we're going to do that with Sandra at this time.
Hello, everybody. It is so good to see so many of you on time tonight. That's very important. Get into another good habit of being on time. Then you won't miss anything. We don't want you to miss anything. The first thing that we want you to do, if you're on chat, on the Zoom chat, we need you to go to chat and put your name in because we need you to register. We need to know who's here every time we meet. That's going to be really important toward the end. And if you are not on the screen and you dialed in tonight, you can dial this number. Now, everybody needs to write this number down. This number is going to be important to you for several other reasons later. That number is, are you ready? Always keep a pen by you. I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. That number is 901 482 8339. 901 482 8339. Just your name so we can register you, making sure that you're here. If you're here for the first time, please put your name in and you can put an FT so we know that's your first time coming. We're glad to have you here. Now, these are our little housekeeping things that we need to do. In the beginning, during the orientation, we did not tell you or stress this. This is a progressive journey, right? So we need to know 2 things, and it's not our business. We just need to know you did it. Take your weight and write it down. You need a really nice, cute notebook. Now, I'm a cute notebook person. I would show you, man, but I don't know where it is. But anyway, okay, so we're going to put our weight down now. And if you have a blood pressure cuff or you have access to getting your blood pressure taken, please write that down too. And then you won't be doing this on a daily basis, but just to do it so you'll know where you started. Remember, we're going from good or not so good to better and then to the ultimate best that we can be, our best life, okay? So do that in the morning if you choose to, but at least have it recorded sometimes during this week. Okay, now we talked about your registration. Now we're going to talk about how you record other things that you need to do. With your book, those of you who do not have a book, that same number, the 901 482 8339, you may put that in, text that number and say that you need a book. We have ordered some more books and they'll be in very shortly, and you want to get yours as soon as it gets here. That same old number, put it in your chat book or whatever you're going to be writing in during these next 10 weeks so that you always have that number. Let us know if you need a book and we will get it to you as soon as possible. Okay, now, I'm not a very savvy person, but in your book, the Q codes, the RQ, right? some people have had trouble trying to get them started, but I was able to download. I don't have an Apple or some other wonderful phone. I have my little wonderful little Samsung, but you can, I promise you, you can actually download a what is it? A QR reader. And it takes about 5 seconds for it to download, and it works. This is important because there are articles and wonderful information that you can educate yourself with by reading extra articles. They had one on massage. I think that was today. I'm not sure, but it was really, really good. So it's just additional information so you can comply with the educate yourself part of our program. Okay. And if you have more problems with that, tell us and we'll try to help you with that. Okay. Now, if you need a book, Cash App, we do have a Cash App. And if you get your same ink pen and write this down, $, Longview, one word, LONGVIER. That's a capital L. And then Heights, capital H, HEIGHTS. Okay, that is our Cash App. Okay, the book is $20. Okay, or you can send a check to Longview Heights, Seventh-day Adventist Church, SDA, 685 East Mallory, 38106. Okay, we'll go over that again with you before we leave. Okay, now you all have heard of Amazing Grace. Now I need you to do something for me. If you spend some time doing these 10 principles that we're going to go over really quickly, if you did that this week, I wanted you to put a smiley face with your picture tonight or on your screen so we can see how many of us really went for it. We gave it all we could give. And you're going to get a little grace because this is your first week. And you're going to get grace today if you live in Memphis because we didn't have any sunshine. None. So we can't say, oh, did you get your sunshine today? Because there was none to get. However, we hope that you did go outside. And when you were outside, I hope you took those deep breaths that we talk about. Osi does a beautiful job in showing you how to do that. So she's going to lead you in how to take a cleansing deep breath. Okay, Osi.
Okay, are you ready? We're going to do the 7-4-9 method. And this is how it goes. You inhale with your nostrils for a count of 7. Then you hold your breath for a count of 4. And then you exhale for a count of 9. But before you do that, we have to do it properly. That is to protrude your stomach as you exhale. Are you with me so far? Okay, so we're going to inhale for a count of 7. We're going to hold it for a count of 4. And we're going to exhale, blow it through our mouth for a count of 9. But in the meantime, hold your stomach. Make sure it's going outwardly, okay? So are you ready? Let's go. Inhale, 6. Well, you do it because I can't do it. I'm counting. So inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, blow it out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Inhale. Inhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You did a good job. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Give yourself a smiley face. Thank you, Osi.
You're welcome.
Okay. Before we left, we talked about you having an accountability partner. And some of us decided we would have accountability groups. That's good too, as long as you're contacting one another. And I hope, how many of you had some kind of contact with your accountability partner? You ought to give me a thumbs up or something, or wave at me. Great. It was a big help to me. It was to me. And I discovered that everybody does not like oatmeal, and that's all right. We're going to be all right with that. We even came up with some solutions to that, and we hope that everything worked out well. But it's good to know that you've got somebody helping you and going through the same thing that you are. And it does take, some things do take some getting used to. Now, If you are on tonight and you don't have an accountability partner, please let us know on that same text. Let us know and then put need accountability partner, so we'll know that. Okay, so we understand that we can get the Q codes. Wonderful information, you all. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You really need that extra information, and we're so glad that you're here with us tonight. Now, I want to ask you one question. Did you have a good Sunday? Did you have a better Monday? And did you have a really good Tuesday? If you had 3 good days, then put your little smiling face on. If you had 2 good days, still put your smiling face on. If you tried to have 1 good day, still put your smiling face on, because that means that you're trying. And we said from the very beginning, we're going to go from not so good to a little bit better to even more better until we begin to live our best lifestyle. These 10 principles for you who are just joining, we're going to do this for your benefit as quickly as I can. In your book, you have a daily challenges, and you're supposed to check them off when you're able to do them. And we're hoping that you can always do them. For instance, on the first day, which was Sunday, you were supposed to organize yourself as far as your day is concerned, and then try to honor all your commitments. That was part of trusting more and stressing less, which Thomas is going to spend a long time with that today, so you can really get that. That is one of the best things you can ever do for yourself. One of the very best things that you can ever do for yourself. Okay, then we said have refreshing rest. You got to go to bed, y'all. We got to do it. Okay, enjoy sunshine. We already said you go outside for a little while. Some people said they kind of look strange standing outside, kind of soaking the sun in, but that's all right. No, people do strange things anyway now, so they probably didn't even notice you. Okay, nutrition. Eat a good breakfast. You eat breakfast like a queen or a king. You eat lunch like a prince or a princess, just a little bit less. Then you eat dinner like a pauper. That means you don't eat like you have never had anything today in the evening. Okay, and as the sun sets a little earlier, we got to be very mindful of that, everybody. Okay, then exercise. How long? 15 minutes. Good. I mean, I don't mind moving your, not just moving your fingers, actually moving your body and exercising yourself. Then we have water. You need to make a pledge to yourself that you're going to drink the water that you're supposed to drink, that you're going to get these things in. And the book will always encourage you. Live temperately. Do not consume things that hurt your body. You know, we talked about cigarettes. We talked about things that we choose that are not good choices for us. So let's think about that. Then we also want to invest time in others. Sometimes, especially with this stressing, when you're doing something for or with somebody else to help them, you will invest that time and you will get a blessing from doing that. And then you will be healthier because you'll have a cheerful heart. Then we have the taking the fresh air. Now you know how to take a deep breath. So don't go outside tomorrow going, you're going to do what Osi did today, okay? And then we're going to continue to educate ourselves using our Q code. You may even think, oh, I want to learn something else about this or that. And you may do your own research. But these are wonderful, wonderful avenues to living your best life. The 10 principles are challenges, but they are possible. And I know together we're going to stay on this road and we're going to get this done. Thank you for being here tonight. Glad to see all of you. And for those who are here for the first time, we can't wait to start this journey with you too. Enjoy tonight. Thomas is here tonight and he's going to walk you through trust more and stress less.
Good evening, everyone. Imagine you wake up one morning and it's 8 o'clock and you suddenly remember that you should have gotten up at 6 a.m. to get ready to go take an important exam. Now you know that you are late, and so you quickly jump in the shower, get your clothes on, pick up your car keys and head out the door. And as you go out the door to get into your car, you suddenly remember you forgot your important notes that you wanted to review just before the test. So you quickly run back in the house, get in the car and head down to the freeway. You get on the freeway, and then you get on the freeway, you suddenly see cars stacked up bumper to bumper. Now the test is at 9 a.m. and you only have 1 hour to get there, and the test counts for 50% of your grade. Now you're in bumper to bumper traffic because of an accident on the freeway, and there is no way to get around. And so you inch your way, and then you remember you've got to get to that exam, and your heart begins to beat faster, your palms of your hands begin to sweat, and you find yourself in an awkward predicament because you know that you're going to be late for your exam. Now that is stress. Stress is something that we all experience, and we have to learn how to manage our stress because there's no way to eliminate stress 100%. So tonight we're going to talk about trust more and stress less. Approximately 43% of all adults suffer adverse health effects from stress. 75% to 90% of all doctor office visits are for stress-related complaints. Stress can play a part in problems such as headaches, high blood pressure, heart problems, diabetes, asthma, arthritis, depression, and anxiety, skin conditions, etc. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, declares stress as a hazard in the workplace. And stress costs American industry more than $300 billion annually. The lifetime prevalence of an emotional disorder is more than 50%, often due to chronic, untreated stress reaction. Now, what is stress? Stress is your body's reaction to a situation that puts it in fight or flight mode. And there are many situations that we go through that can cause us to have stress. There's a positive stress and there's a negative stress. You've got to decide how you're going to deal with stress. What I'm going to do is ask the audience right now, and you can unmute your phone as you respond. Tell me some of the things that are stressful that we experience in life. So just unmute your microphone. If you see a little red line on it, just click it and unmute it and tell me.
Family.
What is it?
Family. Family can be stressful.
Family?
Yes.
Okay, someone else. Anybody else? What else?
Our jobs can be stressful.
Your jobs.
Jobs? What else?
Children.
Children can be stressful. That's correct. Anything else?
Deadlines.
Say that again.
Finances.
Finances. That's a big one. Finances. Okay, another.
Time deadlines.
Time deadlines. That's another one.
Sickness.
School.
School. Test taking in school.
And
That's
sickness
correct.
can be stressful. Sickness.
Sickness, illness, very stressful.
Pandemic for everybody.
The pandemic, right, can be stressful.
Dating.
Dating, romance, relationships can be stressful. That's correct. Anything else?
Driving in Memphis.
Driving in traffic can be stressful. What about pulling into a fast food drive through and you know that you need to be back at a certain place, like your office or your workplace, in a certain amount of time, and you get in the line and it looks like the line is just standing still.
Mm-hmm. Overcommitting.
Overcommitting, that's correct. All right.
Undercommitting.
I want you to listen now as this professor or medical doctor talks a little about stress and the conditions. Now, pay attention to see if you see yourself in any of those.
Doing to me, and then a little bit about when stress becomes anxiety, and then we'll hit the fun part, which is really the management techniques. And then I'm happy to take any questions at the end. So what is stress? And this is where I want to start. I do these 6-week visits for patients because what I found in my practice is that I kept seeing people coming in over and over and over who were presenting with lots of stress and anxiety. I started researching this area about, our daughter is 20, so I started about 30 years ago. And back then we used to say stress was really bad for you, but we didn't have a really good idea of why or how it was. And one of the things that we've learned over the 20 years is what are stressors. So we're a small group, so I want to have people shout out to me, and I'm going to put it up on this board to just help illustrate just the variety. So I'm going to throw my first one out there, if that's okay. Mine is work. So my stress is my work, and sometimes when there's a lot of doctors out on vacation, the load is really heavy. So how about throw some other ones? I'm sorry? Arguing. So like fighting, arguing. What else? Uncertainty. Love that. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Good. What else? Change. Huge. Good. What else? Relationships. Yes. Big one. Good. What else? Throw them out. Throw them out. Finances. Money. Okay. Relationships. What else? Illness. I'm sorry? Illness. Absolutely. Good. What else? What makes you angst? Food. Good. What else? Traffic. Yes, that's always one that comes up. You know, I've got people commuting 2 hours, right? 1 hour out, 1 hour back. I've got people commuting an hour and a half. I've got people who I'm trying to do as much as I can with them going to an outside lab and calling them on the phone so they don't have to come in because they've got that terrible commute. Good. What else? Couple more. Big ones. What makes you, I'll throw a couple. Loss is a really big one. So loss is really, really big. And then, and the other one is move. So just move location, moving houses, moving jobs. So transition is another way to do that. So there's this, you know, as we've studied this, as I said over the years, what we have found is that there are major stressors in life that can cause a lot of problems. And those tend to be relationship, loss, work, major move or change. I'll put these equals this, right? Move or change, and illness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 major sources of stress in people's lives.
I hope you understand that stress is something that we all will face in life. And if we learn how to manage stress, we can survive. I want you to watch this next video. It explains to us a little bit about how to do that.
Stress under control and in balance. But what is stress anyway? How does it affect your body and your mind? And what can you do about it? Let's look inside the human body so you can see firsthand exactly what stress is. First off, stress starts off as a feeling and a reaction to certain situations. It's the body's way of making you more alert and ready to take on a challenge. Stress can feel like butterflies in your stomach, worried, cranky, headache, hard to concentrate, jumpy. So let's say you have a big test coming up. You may think all the stress happens in your mind, but actually research shows that your entire body can be affected by stress. Let's take a closer look. When you encounter a perceived threat or are placed in a stressful situation, the hypothalamus, a tiny region at the base of your brain, sets off an alarm system in your body. Through a combination of nerve and hormonal signals, this system prompts your adrenal glands, located atop of your kidneys, to release a surge of hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline increases your heart rate, elevates your blood pressure, and boosts energy supplies. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, increases sugars, glucose, in the bloodstream. This natural reaction is called the stress response, and it can help us out a lot when we're in a critical situation, like when a driver or cyclist has to slam on the brakes. All of these stress reactions enhance a person's ability to perform well under pressure. In a milder form, and if managed, the stress response can help you concentrate better and perform better for a recital, an athletic event, or even a test. The problem is that the body doesn't always reset itself to normal, and over the long term, if your mind and body are constantly on edge, you may face health problems. The good news is that you have a lot of control over stress, and if you get in tune with what stresses you out, you can make a plan to manage stress and keep it working for you. How can you bust stress? Sleep. Sleep is the time when your brain and body recharge. Get musical. Listening or playing music is a good stress reliever. Laugh. Laughter fires up and cools down your stress response and increases your heart rate and blood pressure, producing a good, relaxed feeling. Ask for help. Just by asking a trusted adult for help, you'll be able to tune your stress response down a notch. Make like a pro athlete and try out relaxation exercises, like deep breathing and visualization. Exercise and stay active. Just like sleep, exercise chills out your stress response and turns on endorphins, the body's natural feel-good hormones. Be a problem solver. Get proactive and make a plan to help you manage stressful situations like homework or other challenges you might face. So what's in it for you if you learn to master your stress and turn on your relaxation response? You will concentrate better, have less stomach aches. You might find tests are easier to take. You'll be in a better mood. And guess what? If you keep it up over a lifetime, you might even be healthier too. Too much stress can bring on illness or increase the severity of them, like diabetes and heart disease. Sounds good, doesn't it? Every person is different, so you'll need to experiment to find out which stress-relieving strategies work best for you.
I think you can see there, everyone will have to find out what stresses them and what things they can do that makes them feel good and eliminate the stress. So as you go through your day, make sure that you note the times when you feel stressed. For example, if you had someone to say to you, I want you to give a speech before a crowd of 5,000 people, that might make you stressful. In fact, a lot of people say that's the hardest thing in the world for them to do is to stand up and talk before an audience. It's very stressful. But unmanaged stress can lead to diseases such as high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer. So we've got to deal with it effectively so that we don't suffer some of these life-threatening diseases. Sometimes you think about trusting and stressing, and I'm going to ask this question. Is it possible to completely eliminate all stress? Is that true or false? It's false because you cannot eliminate all stress. Some stress will be in your life, and there are many different situations that can cause this to happen. So what happens when the body is stressed out? Jealousy, hate, envy, bitterness, anger, and danger actually create these poisons, not only psychologically, but physiology and logical. And these are toxic substances that will weaken your body. For example, let me give you an illustration. If I held a glass half full of water up and I ask you this question, how much does this half glass of water weigh? What would you tell me? Unmute your microphone and tell me. If I held a glass of water up and it was half full, how much would it weigh? Anybody? Half a glass of water? Well, it depends on how long you hold it. If I had a half a glass of water and I held my arm out, straight out, horizontal or perpendicular to my body, and if I held it for 1 minute, the water wouldn't weigh that much. But if I said to you, you have to hold your arm straight out with that filled glass of water for 1 hour, pretty soon their arm is going to start aching. And if I told you to hold that half a glass of water out for a day, your arm would almost be paralyzed. What am I trying to say? It's just like things that are stressful. If you think about them for a little short period of time and let them go, it won't have that much negative effect on you. But if you have something that is stressing you and you think about it all day, 24 hours, it's going to really start messing with your body. And if you had that same thing that stresses you out, if you thought about it for a week, you're really going to be creating a problem for your body. So remember that as you deal with the things that causes stress in your life, get rid of them as quickly as you can, like you would think you should with the half a glass of water. If you hold it just for a minute, it doesn't cause any problems. If you start holding that half a glass of water for hours, and then you had to hold it for days, it would really cause your body to react. Now, how to tell if you are stressed? Some people will experience tension or pain in their muscles. Some people will feel restless. Some people will actually have angry outbursts. Some individuals will suffer headaches. Some individuals will suffer from anxiety. Someone might start overeating. Someone might quit eating. These are signs that tell that you are headed for stress, fatigue, lack of focus, chest pain, a change in your sex drive, irritability, social withdrawal. You can't sleep all night. You wake up throughout the night. Some of these things indicate you're heavily stressed. So let's be aware of them. Trust more, stress less. Do you have a positive outlook on life, or do you have a negative outlook on life? Negative people and negative thinking people, they suffer worse from stress. So try to be a positive person. Learn to manage your stress from a positive way. True or false? Individuals who are negative and pessimistic handle stress better. Is that true or false? That's false. That's correct. Now here's some ways to manage stress. Manage stress, keep a positive attitude, accept that there are events you cannot control, be assertive instead of aggressive, assert your feelings, your opinions, or beliefs instead of becoming angry or defensive or passive. Learn to manage your time more effectively. You can't do everything. Set limits appropriately and say no to some requests that would create excessive stress in your life. Sometimes you have to say no. Take time out for hobbies. And don't rely on alcohol, drugs, or any other compulsive behavior to reduce stress. Drugs and alcohol can stress your body even more. Seek out social support. Spend some time with those you love. And sometimes you may have to even see a professional psychologist or a mental health professional trained in stress management. But learn how to manage the stress. Now it's question and answer time. Are there any questions? Well, thank you very much. And let me talk about trust for a minute. Who do you trust? You trust God? Now let me give you an illustration of how this trust can affect you. You remember in Numbers chapter 14, when the Israelites had reached the border of the promised land or Canaan, they sent up 12 spies. And when the spies came back, 10 of them said, hey, the land was great, but there are giants in the land. And there is no way that we can go up and take that land. 2 of the spies said, yes, we can go up and take the land. They said God said that land would be ours, and they trusted God. But 10 spies said, no, there is no way. And because they couldn't trust God to deliver them out of their situation, God told them, if you're 20 years and older, you're going to die out here in the wilderness. You won't ever get into the promised land. Because they distrusted God, they lost a golden opportunity to go into the land of promise. Sometimes when we have an option of giving back God our time and our money, especially our tithes, we say, if I got this bill to pay, and if I don't pay this bill, I might get evicted from my house, or I might get my car repossessed. Do you trust God when he says, well, if you give your tithes and your offering, that he'll open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room enough to receive? Do you trust him? The Bible says, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine in Proverbs. And a medicine is something that heals. So go around with a merry heart. Trust God. When he spoke this world into existence, when God said, let there be light, there was light. So if God can speak and cause something that doesn't exist to exist, we have to learn how to trust God. And if we trust him, everything will turn out all right. Not everything that happened to you will be good, but all things will work together for your good if we learn how to trust it. Learn how to trust it. Thank you. If there are no questions, we're going to turn it over to Deborah to talk about our power challenge for this coming week.
Okay. Thank you, Thomas T. Lee. Hold on one second. Thank you. Okay, can you guys hear me now? I was getting that feedback. Thank you, T. Lee, for talking to us about stress. We sometimes are under positive stress. We have good stress and we have negative stress. And you told us how we can control our stress. Well, I have a power challenge about stress this week. Okay, so to begin your 10 weeks of challenge, this power challenge is not going to waste any time whatsoever. But you're going to get to the heart of the matter of stress. You're going to learn how to recognize stress. Now, we have a project we want you to do. For the next 3 days, we want you to think about a special place in nature and plan to go there. You could go to a state park, or you could go to Shelby Farm. If you live towards a mountain, you could go to the mountain, you could go to Mississippi River, you could go any place in nature. But if you're not able to go, you could find a beautiful spot in your home and put some nature around it and meditate. Take a book, take a journal, take soft music, take whatever, but I just said take soft music. I really don't want you to take soft music, because I want you to leave all your electronics and cellular phones at home. I want you to sit there and think. Now, I want you to do this coming Saturday in the morning or the afternoon. I want you to sit and think and relax. Breathe in, do those breathing exercises. Meditate. Think of the goodness of the Lord. Think of positive thoughts. Think of things that would decrease your stress level, and watch yourself feel so much better. So our challenge for this week is to get to a quiet place Saturday in the morning or the afternoon. Now, if the weather prohibits us from going outside, find a peaceful place in your home. Don't have the television on. Don't have the radio blasting or music playing. Just between you and nature and God. Sit there and rest and decrease your stress level. Thank you very much. Now, I believe we're going to hear from Diva. And Diva, you're on mute.
Hello, everyone. All right, let me just set up right here for you. All right, bear with me while I set up. And okay. Welcome to the chat. I hope you guys can hear it.
No, and can't see either.
Dish. Today, we are preparing the good old-fashioned oatmeal. As you may know, oats are among the healthiest grains on earth. They are gluten-free, whole grain, and a great source of important vitamins and minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. Studies show that oatmeal have many health benefits, such as weight loss, lower blood sugar levels, and reduced risk of heart disease. There is various ways of preparing oatmeal. I will share with you at the end of the segment additional ways that you can prepare oatmeal. So today I'm going to show you how to prepare it on a stovetop. So the recipe is very simple and the instructions are as easy as 1, 2, 3. So I have taken the liberty already to put on our water, but I will go on now and share with you some of the supplies that will be needed. And they are the following. You're going to need a half a cup of rolled oats, and that's simply because we're preparing 1 serving. You're also going to need a cup of water and a dash of salt. So right now, what I've taken liberty and done was I have put the water and a dash of salt to boil. And once that came to a boil, what I did was I put a half a cup of oatmeal in there. So I have stirred that up for about 10 minutes consistently. And now we're about to bring it over here and add all the other goodies that go over there. So bear with me. Okay. So here we are with our oatmeal. So this is basically 1 cup of water and a half a cup of oat. So to this, what I'm going to add is about 3 tablespoons of coconut milk. So I have here almond milk. For those of you who don't care too much for almond milk, you can try another alternative, which is coconut milk or just rice milk. Any non-dairy milk would work for this recipe. Okay, so you just stir that up a little bit. And this is just Diva. I like to have my coconut in mostly everything that I do. So the next thing I'm going to add is a little dash of vanilla. Okay. And I'm going to add a little dash of cinnamon. Okay, and then I'm going to stir that up. This is beginning to look good, guys, and I can smell the coconut. Oh, the coconut really gives that extra kick and that boost. Okay. So once that's there, I'm just gonna let it sit for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna cover it back up. And at this point, I would just let it sit. So with all that being said, I also want to share with you that there are other things you can add to this. First of all, you can add, to boost it up, you can add nuts. Raw nuts is perfect for your oatmeal. You can add seeds like chia seeds, and like I did, I added some cinnamon and some vanilla. But there's also one more thing that you can add, and that is some honey. I like to use the raw unfiltered honey, and this is something that you will add just to your liking. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops of this honey in here and continue to cover it up and let it just stand for about 2 minutes. And that's all it takes for me. Let me just stir up my honey. Oh, this coconut is driving me crazy. It is, oh, it smells so good. And I can smell the cinnamon too. Okay. So the next step from here, what you can do is after the 2 minutes, you can go ahead and place it in your bowl. And then you can garnish it with, in this case, we have some blueberries. Another thing that I discovered that's really, really awesome is Goya. Goya makes this tropical blend. These are actually fresh fruits that they have actually frozen. There's no sugar added or anything like that. And this is excellent, especially for those people who live in areas where certain fresh fruits will be out of season during the winter months. Also, another good thing that I like to add to mine is coconut flakes. Now, these are unsweetened coconut flakes. That gives me that extra tropical blend and zest that I like to have. So now let me share with you a few tips. Okay, so if you're preparing a large amount for a week or for a group, you can use a crock pot, or you can use a Instapot. So the beauty about using the Instapot and a crock pot is that you don't have to babysit them while they're cooking. Unlike when you're cooking them on the stovetop, you have to be consistent and periodically stir them up. Okay. Number 3, finally, you can use mason jars. And what you do with these mason jars, it allows you to make the oatmeal overnight. So if you're someone who's not into the cooking scene, this is your thing. You can get the mason jars. As a matter of fact, we have one for you. I'll show you right now. And what this mason jar consists of, you make this the night before. You have your nut butter, you have some chia seeds, and then you have your oatmeal. And then you garnish this with some fruits. You can use fresh fruits or frozen fruits. And then I put a little dash of coconut and a little dash of cinnamon. And this is something that in the morning, if you're running, you just grab it and you go. This is perfect for the summer months where you're eating your oatmeal cold. So now let's get back to our original dish. So by the time we add everything to our original dish, this would be our oatmeal. So as you can see, we have our blueberries, we have some strawberries, we have mangoes. The only thing I didn't put in this was some coconut, but thanks to Goya and some fresh blueberries, this is our finished product. Okay? Now, just keep in mind that you should avoid those pre-packaged oatmeal and those flavor type oatmeal because most of them are packed with sugar. Now, I hope you found this information or this segment helpful. For any of the instructions or recipes or how to use the crock pot for oatmeal or the Instapot, just send me your email address and I will be glad to send you the information. Thank you.
So if anyone have any questions at all, and just some instructions on how to do the overnight mason jars oatmeal, or how to do it in your Instapot or using your crock pot, just send me your email address and I'll be glad to send you those instructions. Thank you. And now I believe I am going to hand this over to Miss Sandra Johnson.
Well, actually, Deborah, but we do want to mention this. I didn't mention this earlier, that those of you who missed the kickoff, and those of you who may want to review this, everything that happened tonight, it is being recorded. It is. And it's found on YouTube with the same church name, Longview Heights SDA Church on YouTube. We do want you, because you may not get all of it in your head real well the first time, but the kickoff with all the extra information is already on, and you can actually look at that for those, especially those of you who are just joining us. And I have to give a shout out to my old co-workers because they're on. Good to hear you. See you, girls. Okay, Deborah.
Well, actually, it is OC. Our next week, we will be talking about sleep and rest. And it's going to be fascinating. You're going to learn a lot of things that you never have learned before. And it's going to be really great and exciting. So come back next Wednesday, and we will turn it over for OC for our closing prayer.
Okay, let us bow in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the precious time that we've spent together learning how to become healthier. Lord, you know each of us by name, and you know what each of us stand in need of on our journey regarding the 10 principles. Father, please provide divine intervention to help us to honor the commitments that we have set. Please provide encouragement where discouragement has set in. Provide strength when we are too weak and tired to go on. Give us confidence, Father, and a positive attitude when we want to give up. Help us to juggle our schedules when challenges become so overwhelming for us. Father, please tear down any strongholds that Satan will put in our path.
Yes, God.
Help us to cling to the promise that we find in your word, that you say that above all things, you want us to prosper and be in good health. And help us to remember the goals that we set can be accomplished because you gently whisper to us that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Help us to persevere. And Lord, help us to return next week with newfound hope and determination, knowing that no weapon formed against us will prosper. Abide with us and keep us safe, and help us to come back to this appointed time on next Wednesday is my prayer. In the worthy name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. I hope you all put your name in the chat so we can know you were here.
Good
Good night. Beautiful presentation.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Brother Yates. You did a great job.
Thank